I'm sure you have all heard about the NFL protests that have happened this season. We decided to sit down some of the Grandview football players and coaches to hear their thoughts. What is your opinion on the NFL protests?
Personally, I stand with the players. I understand that it started with Colin Kaepernick trying to raise awareness for minorities being treated in such ways. I think recently it's been kind of skewed more towards countering President Trump.
I understand it, but at the same time, I don't think that's the place, especially when we're trying to promote a team. When coaches are trying to promote a team atmosphere and things like that, I think that can somewhat create a little division, but everybody's entitled to their opinion.
What does the American flag mean to you?
The American flag, it represents freedom. It represents all our veterans who are going to war for us and everything, who's fighting to protect our country.
I see the picture of Iwo Jima. I remember, the Star Spangled Banner came from War of 1812. So I always think of the freedom that comes with it.
When I see it, when we hear a national anthem, I think about all the people that have fought in the wars, to give us those freedoms.
Do you plan on participating in this protest yourself?
I do not plan on doing it, no.
I've actually thought about this for the past 2 years. I feel like I'd want to, but I haven't. But honestly, sometimes when I don't do it, I feel like a hypocrite and a sellout. But then there's also other times that I don't do it and I feel fine as well.
Have you and your players discussed the protests?
It hasn't come up. We don't feel like it's, been necessary to this point. I think more than anything, it's just there's a lot of publicity around it right now, and and that doesn't mean that it has to be talked about, or else we'd be talking about something new every day with what we see in the media today.
Do you feel like the NFL protests are something the Grandview football team should be discussing?
Yeah, I feel like it's something that any team should be discussing, whether it's football, any sports team, just the discussion in general, because once again, they're not just saying that just for, football players or anything. They're trying to bring nationwide knowledge to everybody to start talking about it. So the sooner we start talking about it, the sooner we can come to a conclusion, and I think that's what people are really looking for, especially in the African American community.
Based on your military background, do you feel like the protests disrespect your service?
I personally do not feel that it disrespects our service. I can understand why some people would feel that way. If any veteran dies, they have a flag draped over their casket. And I know a lot of service members have had friends killed in action, and that flag means a lot to them because that's one of the last things they see of their friend. So I can understand why other people would, but I personally don't. We defend our nation for those types of freedoms to be able to do what the NFL players are doing.